Heyo DIY and professional landscapers, my name is Hudson and today we're going to talk about leaf cleanup because it is that time of season again. It's that time of year and we are going to pick up the leaves in our yards. But before we get started, I want to mention if you are working on a landscape or you have landscape projects that you want to save yourself time, stress, and money on, then I have a free gift for you. You can scan the QR code in the corner and get my step-by-step guide for how to do your landscape like a professional. These are the steps that I use as a professional in the landscape industry, and I just wrote them down because I want to give them to you so that you can save yourself time, because professionals do this day in and day out. We know what we're doing and we don't waste any time when it comes to our job. Money, because you better believe professionals don't pay what homeowners pay for landscaping. And stress, because you know every step in the landscape process and you're not wondering, oh man, is there gonna be something else? Am I missing something? Or what if this costs more or extra? No, you're gonna know if you follow the steps in this plan exactly what your landscape costs and exactly how much time it's gonna take you. So download that guide, save yourself time, stress, and money, and let's keep going with this lesson. You probably wanna do this in the most efficient way possible while spending as little time and as little money as possible. So we're gonna talk about how I do this day in, day out as a professional in the fall. The first thing we're gonna start with are your tools. Basically, there are pretty much 4 tools that everyone uses for this. They are a leaf rake, a trash can, a tarp, and a blower. So if you don't have some of these things, that's okay. The bare minimum is a leaf rake and a trash can. A tarp is if you want to haul a few more leaves at a time, and if you're a professional, I definitely recommend a tarp, especially if you're loading trailers or things like that. And a blower. Professionals, again, back to you guys. But homeowners, this means you too. If you want to save a little time on your leaf cleanup, then a blower and a tarp are gonna save you so much time. So if you just have the bare minimum though, if you just have a leaf rake, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna gather the leaves into piles, and then you're gonna move those piles to your disposal area. So basically leaf cleanup works in 2 steps, 2 simple and easy to remember steps. Gather the leaves, move them to where you're disposing of them. That's it. It's as simple as that. So how do you move your leaves? How do you gather your leaves so that you're not redoing stuff and wasting your time, your valuable, precious time? Well, here's how. Start at one side of your yard and systematically work your way across the yard, gathering all the leaves and putting them in piles. You can create multiple piles or just have one big push. If you're using a leaf rake, it's a little hard to do one big push, but if you're using a blower, this is definitely what I would recommend. If you choose to go to the small piles route, then what you should do is gather them into small piles and then using your leaf rake, move those piles into your trash can so that you can pick them up and haul them over to your disposal area. If you are using a blower, start at one end of your yard and push all the leaves all the way to your disposal area so that you don't have to pick them up at all. That's why I recommend blowers over leaf rakes. But if you don't have a blower, no big deal. It's still gonna be a lot of fun. And in fact, maybe you can Tom Sawyer this and get your friends to join in. Just tell them that there's apple cider and beers for them if they come over and help you out with your leaves. Call it a fall festival. Now that's thinking. If you have young kids too, this can also be a fun time for them, you know, because you get leaf piles, have the kids run through it and then pick it up. All right, so that is the gathering of the leaves. And then the second part is disposal. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. Number one, and the preferred way of many people, is to just burn the leaves. And you can do this if you have a burn pit or an area to burn leaves, or if you're in an area or a municipality that doesn't mind if you're burning leaves. But some places prefer that you not burn a huge amount of leaves. And so for these places, they sometimes have roadside pickup, in which case you can just move all your leaves out to the roadside and they will come along and pick them up. The county will pick it up for you. Another way that you can do this is by getting leaf bags, and you stuff those leaf bags full of leaves, and then the garbage company comes down with their beatific halos and picks up those leaves and takes them off to leaf heaven. You know, wherever leaves go when they're deceased. If you think about it, really what you're doing is picking up tree corpses. And then the third option for disposal of your leaves, and this is one that I use as a professional because we can't burn leaves on our client's property, and we can't just leave them by the side of the road because that's not a finished job. And most of our clients don't opt for the leaf pickup, is we load our leaves onto trailers and then haul them to the local composting place. So If you're a professional, this might be the route that you're taking, or if you're a homeowner who doesn't have a burn pit or a leaf pickup option offered by your city, then this might be the route you have to go, where you load up your leaves in your vehicle or rent a vehicle like a U-Haul or something and move those leaves on up and out. You could probably also borrow a vehicle like from a buddy or something, you know, promise them a couple beers and then, you know, get a vehicle. So once you're done with that, you're pretty much done. You get to enjoy a leaf-free yard that you cleaned up or that you got someone else to clean up, you know, either or. And now you get to enjoy yourself. Honestly, if I were you, I would plan a party after this, like pumpkin carving, hot apple cider, etc. Invite your friends over, make a day of it. But just because you're cleaning up your yard doesn't mean it has to be boring and lame. I love to listen to audiobooks and music while I'm doing this, and I would encourage you to put in a favorite podcast, grab yourself some apple cider, and get to work. So speaking of which, let's get to work. So that's it. Thanks for joining me. You can find steps for all of this and more in my free step-by-step total homeowner's landscape guide. It's a step-by-step process to help you design, install, and maintain your landscape. Leaf cleanup is in the maintenance section, that third step of the landscaping process. So go ahead and scan the QR code or hit the link below this video to pick up your copy of this free guide. Well, that's it for leaf cleanup. Now that you've got your piles of leaves, you can work through burning them up, or you can dispose of them in some of the other ways that we talked about. But I got my work cut out for me. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.